darlings, and welcome to a speed build. I was going to bring this out tomorrow, but I had this video finished before my other one, so I was like, do you know what? We are going to get the speed build out today instead. And this is, I'm calling it Zakynthos Villa. This is the exact villa that I stayed in on holiday recently, and I just fell in love with the place. It was a brand new villa as well. It was only built in August. So we were one of the first people to actually stay in it. It's like a new kind of like little villa complex up in the northern mountain region of Zakynthos. And I loved it. I absolutely loved my time here. I just thought the aesthetics of this place was just so well done. It was, even though it was a new building, they've like used all local stone and just did like a modern take on a villa. There was 5 of them already built, but there was another 3, I think, being built while we were there. They weren't doing any work while the guests were there, which was nice. There was no like building work or anything going on. And there were 2 and 3 bedroom villas. We had one of the 2-bedroom ones, and it was just lovely. It was really, really lovely. It was tucked away. It was in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. And I just had a lovely time. I really did. I really had a lovely time. So as I said, 2 bedrooms. One of the bedrooms is like a mezzanine bedroom. You'll see that once we get into the interiors, and that's where we actually slept. And then there's also another bedroom on the ground floor area, along with a bathroom and an open plan kitchen and living area with kind of like a mezzanine sort of like high ceiling. Couldn't do the exact ceiling that was in the actual villa itself, because the Sims just don't like that. When you kind of like knock out the ceiling, you can kind of see the roof. I hate that color that the Sims kind of defaults to, so I never do it. It just looks shit. No matter what you do to it, it just looks crap. So I decided on going for like a flat kind of like ceiling instead. So you're just gonna have to use your imaginations, or better yet, down below I've left a link to the me and Tom both found this villa on Airbnb, so you can go and rent it if you may wish. I think it's booked up for the next couple years, but I will leave a link down below to the villa that we stayed in, and you can go and have a little look at the actual pictures, or better yet, follow me over on Instagram and you can see it a little bit clearer there, my darlings. But yeah, and it had this wonderful kind of outside space with a pizza oven. It had a big huge barbecue. It had an infinity pool that looked like, you would not believe the view from there. It was absolutely insane. You could just see all over the mountains, and then the sea just took up the whole vista of this villa. It was amazing. It's very eco-conscious as well. It was all powered by solar panels. It was amazing, and you just felt like you were in the middle of nowhere. There were like mountain goats flopping around during the day with the bells on their necks, and you can see the shepherd like coming through with the goats, and it was wonderful. It really was. It was very tucked away. So if you do go here, just be conscious that it is a half an hour drive to anywhere with any kind of like life, really. But I liked that. I really did like that. So yeah, beautiful time. I can't believe I've been back already, like a week. And yeah, nuts. Anyway, here we go. So we're making a start on the veranda bit out here. Obviously this isn't a direct copy. There are a few things I had to kind of like sim up just to make sense in the game. The one thing that really bothered me is that you can't put I'm doing it now, you can't put fountains around the actual pool, because with the infinity pool it kind of like spilled over the edge to a shallower pool that kind of wrapped around it, and you could just like walk through that shallower pool. Like it was wonderful. It really was. And then this little bit over here that I'm doing now was this kind of like platform area. It did have what do you call it, astroturf, like that fake grass, which I really can't stand. It did have that on some of the platform areas, which I don't really like astroturf, so that was not a good thing for me. But they did have these wonderful sun lounges and stuff out on them, and you could like look over the sea, and yeah, it was lovely. Not so lovely because a few of the days we did have like quite crappy weather, like cloudy sort of like weather. We did have a storm one of the days as well, which was beautiful to watch from this. Can you imagine like being up in the mountains and seeing this like storm rolling through over the seas? It was amazing. You could see all the lightning and stuff. I love storm me. But yeah, gorgeous. So I am improvising a bit here. There wasn't any gap, so I was like, what can I do with that gap? So I just put in these hedges. I put in these hedges and kind of wrapped these around the foundation, and it just helped kind of blend the kind of like, yeah, the foundation into the ground itself. But so this wasn't in the actual villa, but you know, as I said, I needed to sim up a few things, and that's how I decided to do it. I really did. And I am using custom content is why I'm using custom content with this build. I would not have been able to build this without custom content, I don't think, to get the aesthetics across. It's very modern and contemporary. I have done this as a rental lot as well, so there's not much personality on the inside. In the actual place, like the real villa, they did have a lot of personality, even though it was very minimal. I think the rustic sort of like vibe that they went for with everything hit with lots of contemporary pieces, just really brought out a nice bit of personality with it. It really did. Outside shower, there was an outside shower in this area here, so if you got out of the pool and you just wanted to get the chlorine off you, you could get into that outside shower. And then it had this wonderful like veranda that was covered in this big like bamboo pergola over the top of it, and it had this huge outdoor kitchen with everything that you could need. It had a huge, well, what I'm doing now, this was where the barbecue area was, and it kind of wrapped around to the pizza area. It had a big huge concrete island that you'll see me build in just a second, and it also had a big dining room table as well, so it was really nice. And the people that owned the actual place were really lovely. There's like, they said like you can have guests come over and stay and stuff, and weirdly Tom's brother was on holiday in Zakynthos at the same time. He came a couple of days after us, so he came over with his partner and their little boy, and they stayed a night here, and it was really nice. I got very drunk that night. I was absolutely steaming. You know, when you speak, you can hear yourself speaking, you're slurring. I was like, I need to stop, to be honest. Yeah, got to that point. The gin is very strong over there. And I love the beer, the local beers and stuff, but I always tend to get Mythos whenever I'm in Greece. I love that beer. It's, as you may or may not know, I am a huge beer drinker. I do love my beer and ale. So Mythos was the winner on holiday. I was having lots of that. And why not? You're on holiday, you know, you've got to treat yourselves. But yeah, this is what I decided to do with that little island bit that you just see me working on there. I used the concrete island from Harry and Felix's Jardin pack, I think it was. And then I put in Harry's brutalist kind of wall panels and made it look like this big solid kind of like concrete, what would you call them, island supports. And I think it worked. I think it worked really nicely. And this area just feels exactly like it did in the actual villa itself, with the pizza oven. The pizza oven was a lot more traditional looking. It was like a clay pizza oven with the like chimney, you know, but we don't have them. Looking forward to seeing some custom content, kind of like differentiations of the new objects that came with the Home Chef Hustle pack. I'm looking forward to seeing them. I really am. This place was lit up as well with these wonderful lights. It had lights all over this villa that you could control inside the actual villa itself. And it just lit the villa up so nicely at night. And even if the lights were on, like during the day, they would be off. They would come on at a certain time to like help with environmental issues and stuff, which I love that sort of like, I love that vibe when it comes to any kind of place that I'm staying, something that's a little bit more ecologically conscious. And yeah, I did like it. They had this like sort of like wall, this, what would you call it? It's not really a pergola. It's almost just like a bit of a ceiling over on this area that connected in with the wall. And then they had this like built-in sofa moment over here as well, with lots of pillows. And it was lovely. It was in this really nice like green color. It was a little bit more green than what I'm doing now, but I just thought this looked nicer in game. So I used this one. And it just had this lovely big sofa area that you can come and just lounge on. And it was all leather. It was like green leather. It was amazing. I don't think it was real leather, but like you could just get at the pool and sit on it and not worry about getting it wet and stuff. Do you know what I mean? And it really, yeah, it was lovely. Very, very nice. So I made use of it. That's for sure. And it had a wonderful view from there as well. They had all of these planters and stuff around, but because of this is like a very new plot, a lot of the trees and stuff were very kind of like sapling oriented. They weren't kind of mature trees. They had olive trees, they had orange trees all around. So it'd be interesting to see what this place looks like in say sort of 10 years once the trees and stuff have had time to like sort of, you know, grow up, mature, and look gorgeous. And yeah, lovely. And again, with the lighting, there was lighting everywhere, like on everything, like even under the trees, and you could just control it all from the actual villa itself. It was wonderful. It was lovely. I had a nice time. I wouldn't say Zakynthos is my favorite Greek island I went to. I don't know why. There was certain parts of it were absolutely gorgeous. It really was. But I knew there was going to be some touristy areas and I did want to see them and stuff. But I prefer the kind of like sort of not untouched Greek island, because that's not a thing. The less touristy kind of islands. I prefer that. And I just found Zakynthos just a little bit too touristy for me. But I still had a lovely time. The end. Anyway, into the interior. So there was a kitchen at the back here. Had everything that you would need in the kitchen as well. The fridge was kind of like tucked under the stairs. You could probably see it now, but I do pull it out and put it back in just to make it look like it wasn't there before. And then I had this big island area. There was a bin tucked into the cupboards. I didn't put a bin in this actual rental, so you might need to pull one in. I do apologise, because it just wasn't one on show. So I went with my gut instinct. But yeah, this island kind of like separated off the kitchen and living area, and there was this kind of like built-in sofa moment. That was really nice, and I was like, oh god, that's not going to be comfy, because it was like pillows against wood at the back, and I was just like, not that we're going to be sitting down much on the sofa anyway, we're going to be outside. But a couple of the evenings we did watch a few movies and stuff when it was a bit rainy. But it was really comfortable. It was so comfortable and so well made. Everything in this villa felt really well made. There was no kind of like, it wasn't like a British new build, for example, where you can just see they were like trying to save money and sort of skimping around. They definitely spent a lot of money on this place. Like, it was beautifully done, and yeah, it had air conditioning in every single room as well. So it was perfect. It was really, really a perfect place. I reckon I could live somewhere like this, but only if you could plop this in the English countryside instead. Thank you. So yeah, this is the sofa. I used the same sofa as what we did outside. I think it's from Felixander. I could be wrong. I can't remember whose this is. It might be Felix. And it was this grey, like built-in kind of L-shaped sofa. It had a small little TV in the corner that I had to squeeze in here with this little like wooden area off to the side that had a lamp on. They even like supplied us with a JBL like speaker, you know, like the Bluetooth speakers, so we could take it out by the pool. Honestly, they catered for everything. That you could even have your own private chef come over. We didn't do that because Tom likes to cook, so Tom did all the cooking. They do everything. If you had children, they bring babysitters around. They can supply you with cots. Like, it was nuts. Everything was just really well thought of, and the actual company who own it were brilliant. They were they checked on us and asked if everything was okay, but kept very private. They didn't come up onto your villa or the lot at all. It was really nice, really bloody nice, and I'd recommend it to you if you did want to stay there. And as I said, you can go and have a little look down in the link below. But yeah, they had this wonderful table as well that I've used that marble one, but it was almost like the stone that was used on the actual exterior itself. They'd made a table out of a big slab of that, using the same joists that were up in the ceiling as the legs on the table. So the table was obviously specifically made for this villa. Like, it was just incredible. The little touches were amazing. It really was. And had these wonderful yellow cushions everywhere that I'm using now, and bloody gorgeous it was. So this is the bedroom that me and Tom stayed in. I really wanted to stay in this bedroom because there's a window over, like, from the mezzanine that you could see right down to the ocean from. So you could literally lay in bed and see the ocean. It was incredible. But the only problem was there was 2 massive cicadas trapped in that window for 3 days. And they were buzzing around and being very loud. You can't get to them because how high that window up is off the ground, and I couldn't reach the broom for the mezzanine. I tried to kind of like bat them down to get them out. So we had to we had to wait until Tom's brother came, and then we kind of like teamed up, and they were throwing towels on the cicadas and then brushing the cicadas down with the broom to get the towel. Do you know what I mean? So they were trapped in that and letting them free. We managed to free them. What an amazing story that is. Do you know what? I should write that down. That there would make an amazing anime. The no, I'm not even going to go into it. We're carrying on. Anyway, so this is the second bedroom. I'm leaving everything as plain as possible because that's exactly what it was like. This is a rental. You're not going to have decorations and stuff around. So it's very minimal. You can hang your own clothes up when you come here and rent it out. And yeah, it was just, everything was so well thought of, especially like in the bathroom and stuff. They supplied you with absolutely everything, like shampoo, conditioner. Well, like a hotel, you know what they do. But it was just nice to see it in a rented villa. It was a lovely touch, really was. The bathroom was really nice as well. No bath, but it did have this huge walk-in shower that was amazing, that had a window that looked out onto the back walls and stuff with all. Yeah, it was lovely. It really was. But yeah, bathroom, simple, self-explanatory. Here we are indeed. And the one good thing about this villa as well is that at touch of the button, all the windows had blinds, and the blinds would come down from a remote. It was amazing. You could do that. And you could also open the windows because they had screens on the windows, so it wouldn't let any bugs and stuff in, apart from those cheeky cicadas. I don't know where they came from. I just thought that was an amazing, like, I don't know, little touches, all those little touches. You can tell that this place was kind of like built by an architect and really thought about. It was incredible. And that pool, the infinity pool, was amazing, but it was so cold. It was freezing because it's up in the mountains and not heated. Well, you can imagine. Anyway, I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to be back tomorrow with Google Earth. We are in the main area of the US and we're building a rather little gorgeous home. So that's it. You're going to go watch a video tour and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.